Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about the books I've read in the month of January. So, as I said previously, this is not a good month to me. To be honest, I struggle to read. I read short novels and I read around 1,300 pages or something like that. So, it's not been a good experience. The month of March, we are into 2 of March, I already started one book and I read 150 pages in one day, which is pretty good, and I hope that keeps up for the next for this month, in the month of March. Let's see if I can keep it up. So, without further ado, let's dive in our books I read, and they are in the, rating order. So the first one I'm going to show you is Flash for Punktown. So Flash for Punktown is a book that there's all other that are very slim, around between 70 to 100 something pages. So there are really three short stories or one novella and two short stories, something like that. And these ones have three stories that deal with Lovecraft, and at least the first one deals with the Amigo feature. But I didn't enjoy these three books. Too weird for me, to be honest. And the last book, the last story, it's interesting one, which mystery kind of horror novel, going too far on your desires, and I gave this book a 53 out of 100. It's a 3 stars, nothing more. Next one was a book. While I was putting my books in the shelves, I said, okay, I'm gonna grab one Tim Curran novel since it's one of my favorite horror writers. Maybe he has some interesting here, some thinking that makes spikes me up. And yes, I did read fast, to be honest, but I didn't enjoy the book as much as I hoped. So this is Afterburn by Tim Curran, and it has like evocative cover. I'm not going to show because it's very graphic, but basically the story in the back hints to something, and I got something else. So basically, there was something that happened on that place, on that town, something like that, and people start dying. Well, burned, and something appears on their bodies, and as people that were inside of houses tried to survive, they basically were attacked and so on. So we follow a bunch of characters, first one, then one, and so on. So we have some chapters, interconnected chapters. I mean, the first chapter is one personage, one character, then another, and another, then go back to the first, and so on. So it's also okay story, but to be honest, I didn't feel invested in nothing of this story. I would have hoped for something more from Tim Curran, but as I read like 10 of his books, some are pretty 5, 4.5, 5 stars, and there are a couple of ones that are 3 stars at most. So this one is 3 stars. I gave it a 67 out of 100. If I want 6.7, it's 3.5 stars. So not bad. Next one was another author that I really enjoy, horror author. It is John Hatem. John Hatem is one of those writers. I read 10 books and I enjoy most of them. Some I didn't enjoy, and this one I didn't feel invested as I hoped, to be honest. So basically, this is a story about a young girl that is living her life, trying to earn money, dealing with her boyfriend, mother, and so on. And she's being, well, someone is mistreating her or abusing her. At the beginning, they thought it's someone. Then we found out as the story progressed, it's like a spirit. We have a very interesting character, the mother. I really enjoyed the character itself. The family itself, I enjoyed the three characters, mostly the mother and the brother. But then the story progressed somewhere which I didn't. Well, I was not invested as much as I hoped in the end. So it was like, I mean, to do this kind of exorcism, if you want to call it that. It's you require more pages, more depth, more, and I didn't get that. Um, I have read in the end because usually he writes like a little information about the book itself, and it says here that I've been thinking about making this into a series of standalone novels, which he didn't. If he did, I have not read it, but I don't think they did it. Every anyway, it's a 73 out of 100, which is a good rating. To be honest, it's 4 stars. So don't take in. It's a bad book. It's not a bad book. It's a very good book. Although I've read better from him. It's the problem with ratings. 73 for probably another author is very good. For this author, which I've read several other books, I expected more. Then we've got another person, another writer that I've read a lot, which is Jacqueline Druga. Jacqueline Druga writes this kind of post-apocalyptic novels. There's alien invasions, there is time travel, there is meteor, there is tsunami, and so on. And I've read like 8 or 9 from her, and one of the things I can complain, almost all of them, is that the story itself it's interesting, but the ending I didn't. It's one of her weakest, and the way the book is written. So it's as all books, it's fast paced. It's very fast paced. Chapters, 5 pages. You jump around. In this book, on contrary of the others, we jump around a lot because we follow several groups of characters. So we jump, and I didn't feel invested of these characters. I did enjoy some characters. There is some humor, which is very interesting, but then I didn't enjoy the conclusion or the explanation, which there wasn't that interesting, and the way it ended. Basically, that's it. I gave it 74 out of 100. So 74 out of 100. It's it should that one should be. It's 4 stars. Then 3 to go. Heavy Oceans by Tyler Jones. Tyler Jones, yes. This one I gave it 75, so a bit more than the other one. This one is well written. It's a book or a book dealing with these two brothers and what one does. So basically, one kills another person, and they have to. Well, they are accompanied by some other people, and then they decided to drop the person in the ocean, and then the ocean disappears, or there's a black in the ocean, something like that, and they are basically stopped like an anomaly. And the story jumps around, so we've got things in the present, things in the past. In the past, it's because of the both brother and sister and how they live their lives, the young and the old. It's quite interesting story. It's a good story in terms of character development, but I didn't enjoy the story pace and the way it goes. I didn't enjoy the ending, but I was enjoying the story, this introspection, this kind of trying to find out what's happening and so on. These monsters that appears. So I've got more books from him, Midas and a couple of, and another one. So I will be reading more of him. Then we've got Knights of Punktown, which is another collection by Jeffrey Thomas, this guy here, and 3 stories. These ones are connected, again, Punktown, but these ones I really enjoy them. I enjoy a lot. Mostly the second and the third one. The second and third story was very, very good. I won't advise to read this one first, but this one is probably one of my favorites. I gave it a 79, which is 4 stars. And now my favorite book was Elder Eyes, The Elder Eyes by David Ambling. This is a pretty short novella about pugilist who is trying to live his new life as investigator or something like that, and so he is dealt a job to find out um, this Arctic explorer and to grab some money because he owns money. And this is based on a true story. There was indeed this character, sorry, this explorer, these depths and so on. So he tries to bring some things that happened back in the 20s and bring a story to put Lovecraftian monsters within the Antarctica and so on. There is not that much developed. There is some hints here and there, but this is the first novella. Like in this universe, there are 5 more. I already bought them all because I really enjoy this one. Um, the way it's written, it's beautiful written. It mimics the Pulp Fiction in the 1920s, 1930s, Lovecraft and Clark Ashton Smith and so on. So I really enjoyed. I gave it an 80 out of 100. So it's not a contender for Book of the Year award, but it's my favorite book of the month. And so I, if you enjoy pastiche or this kind of Lovecraft and stuff, I would advise you to read this one. So yeah, that's it from me. So this is the books I've read. Not they seem a lot, but apart from 2, they are pretty like 200 and something pages. So let's see if I can read a bit more next month. In this case, March. And I have tried to grab some books that interest me more, or probably trying to finish ones that I've started this month and I didn't finish. For example, these 3 are the ones I'm eagerly to finish: Erra Salvatore, Primarch, Winter World, and What Vengeance Comes. And I am again halfway there in all of 3 books. So it's a question of, this one is not like a third. These are books I'm going to finish this month, and in between I'm going to read one book here, one book there, maybe slower, shorter books to make me want to read more. So that's it for me. Thank you all and have a great day.